Fathers are frequently seen as the household source of knowledge since they have decades of experience and wisdom to impart to their offspring. But what about the counsel they never tell their sons? There is a ton of guidance available for young males. There are some good parts, some awful parts, and a lot of stuff is obsolete. You should listen to the older and wiser Sigma guys if you want actual advice to help you achieve in life. Sadly, much of the advice our fathers should have given us was never given to us, but that's okay because we're here to fill in the blanks. So sit back, relax, and take some notes because these pearls of wisdom are absolutely worthwhile. Number 1. Embrace your inner weirdo. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said that to be great is to be misunderstood. By being different and uncompromising in your values, you set yourself apart from the herd mentality and discover a more authentic way of living. What's more, as Sigma males have long understood, being a little weird can also be a loner in a world that often feels increasingly conformist and homogenized. It can be liberating to embrace your inner weirdo. 2. Be selective with your time and energy. Just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. We need to focus on the things that are truly important to us and say no to everything else. Otherwise, we'll quickly find ourselves in a bind. Nowadays, it's easy to feel like you have to say yes to everything. We agree to working late hours, taking on extra projects, and spending time with people we don't really care about. Sigma guys are not hesitant to put their own wants before others, and they are also not scared to deny others. While saying no may offend some people, it is preferable to sacrifice your own pleasure. Number 3. Don't let women ruin your life. There's a reason why the slogan, "Don't let women control your life," has taken on a life of its own among Sigma guys. As emotional beings by nature, women frequently lack the capacity to make judgments that will have long-term effects because they prefer to base them on emotions rather than logic or reason. The men who know what they want and are willing to make the difficult decisions to get there are known as Sigma males. On the other hand, they're not heartless or insensitive. On the contrary, they're frequently very compassionate and loving men, but they know that when it comes to making decisions, it's best to leave the emotions out of it. This will save you a lot of heartbreak in the long run. Number 4. You miss all the shots you don't take. Sigma males are the ones who don't fit in with the mainstream and are always on the edge, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's frequently their unique perspective that enables them to see things that others miss, and when it comes to taking shots, they know that you miss 100% of the ones you don't take because life is all about taking chances and putting yourself out there. It's no secret that fathers and sons sometimes butt heads, so don't be scared to take your own route in life. You never know what you could surprise yourself with. However, there is value in listening to your father's advice even if you ultimately decide to forge your own path because your father has a lot of life experience and knows what is best for you. However, don't be afraid to be your own man because there is increasing pressure on men in today's society to conform to traditional gender roles, but just because you don't fit doesn't mean that you should feel inferior. This is the Sigma attitude to life. They recognize that obstacles will always arise, whether we like it or not. They advise against wishing for a simpler life or better circumstances. Do not seek less challenge. Rather, hope for greater ability. Aspire to gain more knowledge. Number 7. It's not about how much you make, rather how much you keep. In today's culture, there is a lot of pressure to generate a large salary, whether it's to keep up with the Joneses or to just live comfortably. However, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. Many individuals want to earn as much money as they can, but they often don't know that it's more important to maintain your money than it is to get it. Just because you earn a six-figure income doesn't mean you're suddenly wealthy. If you don't watch your spending, it's easy to get into debt. On the other hand, even if you don't make a lot of money, you may still become rich by adhering to a budget and making sensible financial decisions. A Sigma guy is one who is aware of this idea and concentrates on creating wealth rather than just making a lot of money. Sigma males are aware that their lifestyle decisions have a direct impact on their bottom line. They also recognize the value of diversifying their income sources and creating multiple sources of income. By adhering to these guidelines, Sigma men are able to build wealth over time and live comfortably without going into debt. Number 8. You are a product of your environment. The people you associate with, the places you live and work, and the things you do every day all have an impact on who you are as a person. Although it can be tempting to think that we are in control of our own lives, The truth is that our environment has a much larger impact than we realize because our brains are constantly receiving information from our surroundings, which shapes our thoughts, emotions, and behavior. Choose carefully and build your social circle on the principles that are important to you. Avoid hanging out with bad people simply because it's enjoyable. Instead, seek out those that motivate you to achieve better in life. 9. Be a leader. 9. Be a leader. The old cliché, the biggest and strongest guy in the pack is the leader of the pack, is no longer necessarily true in today's society, as the emergence of the Sigma male has shown. Sigma males are known for their independence and capacity for independent thought. They are frequently the outcasts or loners of the group, but they are also the ones who aren't afraid to speak their minds and stand up for what they believe in. Number 10. If you work hard at your career, you can support yourself. If you improve yourself, you'll be wealthy. It goes without saying that the most successful people are typically those who have heavily invested in themselves. They are constantly learning, growing, and working to develop their skills, which sets them apart from the average person who only works to support themselves. The average person is content to do just enough to get by and to remain in their comfort zone. The Sigma is the man who isn't content with a traditional 9-to-5 job. Instead, he wants to make his own way in the world and is willing to put in the hard work to make his dreams a reality. Living a mediocre life is simple. It doesn't take much effort, but it's not very fulfilling in today's world. With the advent of the internet, the Sigma male has become more prevalent than ever before. Number 11. Never let anyone tell you that you can't do something. There is an old saying that goes, the only way to get what you want in life is to go out and get it. It is true that if you want something, you must be willing to put in the work to make it happen. However, there is another crucial part of that saying that frequently gets overlooked. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something. Number 12. Work your way up from the bottom. In today's world, it seems like everyone is concerned with rising to the top, whether that means getting the greatest job, making the most money, or having the most Instagram followers. You must start at the bottom and work your way up. Everyone wants to succeed, but the reality is that most times, you have to start at the bottom and work your way up. This process can be difficult and frustrating, but it's necessary if you want to achieve your goals. Fortunately, there are some things you can do to ease the climb. First, concentrate on improving your skills and honing your craft. If you're good at what you do, people will notice and start to give you opportunities. Last but not least, constantly remember your end goal and the reason you started this. These suggestions won't ensure success, but they can undoubtedly support you in your ascent to the top.